Welcome back, everybody, to the Baltimore Orioles franchise here on MLB The Show 21. Today we've got games 3 and 4 of the ALCS, and our Orioles are in a little bit of trouble to start this series off, losing games 1 and 2. The offense just has not played well so far. 2 runs in both games, and although the pitching has not been terrible, it has not been great either. Both of these games were at home as well, so now that we have to go into Minnesota, the Twins have all of the momentum, and we're definitely in a little bit of trouble, but I don't think this team is going to give up that easily. I said at the beginning of the series that I expected this to be a classic, and I think the Orioles are going to continue to fight until, well, the series is done. Game 3 is super pivotal because the Orioles know they just have to get back on track then. Being down 3-0 is sort of like a death sentence. And then once it's 2-1, I guess you got to go from there. Baltimore needs to find an X factor, somebody who can step up out of nowhere. And I think that player could be Grayson Rodriguez, who will be getting the start in Game 3. This would have been John Means' scheduled start, but Rodriguez is going to get the start instead. It will be his first playoff start of his career. So far, he's pitched in one playoff game in which he was very impressive against the White Sox. So let's see what he can do here. Game 3 of the ALCS here against the Minnesota Twins with a 2-0 series lead. I feel like I'm a broken record when I say this, but this is probably the most important game of the year. And I feel like I've said that about 5 times within the past, 5 or 6 episodes. But it's true. Every game is becoming even more and more important, and the games are going to become more important from here. So the Cardinals have won games 3 and 4 of the NLCS. So if they could do it, tie the series up at 2, why not us? So here's a look at Grayson Rodriguez. He's pitched in 2 1/3 innings. So far has not allowed a run so far in the playoffs. Let's see if he can do that again. And this is not a great start. Byron Buxton hitting it into the right center gap. And with Byron Buxton's speed, we know that he can make big plays, rounding second, headed to third. So the Twins are going to start beating off with a triple. Not particularly ideal, if you ask me. Yohan Moncada is going to fly this one out into somewhat deep left field, and that's more than enough room for Buxton to score. That was a pretty good throw from Elliot Ramos, but because Buxton is really fast, he's going to be safe. Miguel Sano is now up at the dish. Count is 1-1. This one is lined into right. Sano beats the shift perfectly. And now the Twins have multiple extra base hits here in the first inning. So far, it has not been clear sailing for Grayson Rodriguez, as we hoped and expected. Alex Kirilloff will ground this one to short. Luciano quickly makes the play. The Orioles' middle infield of Luciano and Jalen Miller have both really struggled so far here in the ALCS. Ivan Cortez Jr., who is dealing with migraines, is starting at second base today over Miller. So here is Zach Eflin. He did not allow a run in his first playoff start. We'll see what he can do here, facing off against Anthony Rizzo, who launches a nuke in a right field. That one goes at the top of the second deck, 430 feet. And man, Anthony Rizzo has hit the ball well here in the playoffs. What an outstanding trade deadline pickup he has been. He was so good after the deadline. He's been so good in the postseason. Liam Bumaye now into a right center gap. That'll drop for extra bases. That was an outside slider, too, but Bumaye was able to get good contact on it. Headed to third, the throw is in time. So the Twins will get Bumaye out. He was trying to be aggressive, and it backfires. Score remains tied at 1 now as we go into the bottom of the second. Jake Cave leading things off for the Twins. He's had a pretty solid series so far, and he's going to continue that right here. Cave, high fly ball in the right field. That one is gone. And the Minnesota Twins will take a 2-1 lead. Cave with his second home run of the playoffs. Mitch Garver does strike out on the changeup. Grayson Rodriguez needs to get into his groove. He needs to get his confidence back because he has not been good today. 1 on, 1 out for Royce Lewis. He goes down on the curveball. This is the Grayson Rodriguez we all know and love, striking out batters like it's nothing. Byron Buxton now launches a bomb with 2 outs in the left center field, and that one is gone. The Minnesota Twins now lead 4-1. Right when it looks like Rodriguez was starting to do something, kerploof, it falls flat in his face, and the Orioles are going to take him out of the game for John Means. Means was supposed to start today, So now he's still going to get to pitch, but instead out of the bullpen. Facing off against Yoan Moncada, and he draws a walk, so not a particularly an ideal start for John Means, making his first relief appearance of this entire series. The following batter, Luis Arias, would ground out to short, so the Orioles get out of the inning, but the pitching has not been good so far. Grayson Rodriguez did not even make it out of 2 innings, and the Twins lead 4-1. Here is Marco Luciano up in the 3rd. He's going to ground that one past the second baseman, Arias, for a single into right field. It's been tough sledding here in the ALDS for Luciano, who did not have a hit until then. Now Ivan Cortez Jr. is up, who's playing second base today. Leaves down the drag bunt, and it works like a charm. He does not look like someone who's been dealing with headaches for the past few days. And if Jalen Miller and Marco Luciano are going to struggle, Ivan Cortez Jr. is going to play because, quite frankly, he's been pretty good in the playoffs. Elliot Ramos with 2 away grounds that one out to second. So despite having 2 base runners on and a major opportunity to get back in this game, Baltimore does not capitalize, and the score remains 4-1. Miguel Sano leads off the bottom of the 3rd. This one is going to go into the left center gap for extra bases. Miguel Sano has been super impressive so far in this ALCS. I mean, he's really hit the ball well. And it's not just for power. I mean, he already has 2 base hits today. And the Twins have a runner in scoring position with nobody away. Now a runner on 3rd for Jake Cave, and that one's going to be flown into right. The throw from Bumaye is just not in time. That was a good throw, but the runner is successfully able to score, and the Twins are now up 5-1, really building up this lead early. Max Kepler now up at the dish on the 1-2 pitch. Line to Rizzo, nice play to get the out. But so far, it has not been a good first 3 innings for the Baltimore Orioles. They are down 5-1, and this is the most important game of the season. They have to win it, or else their chances of making the World Series are not dead, but they're pretty close to dead. Louis St. John gets fooled on the slider, and St. John has also been pretty underwhelming here in the ALCS. He hit the ball really well against the White Sox, but so far here against Minnesota, hasn't been all that impressive. 2 away for Adley Rutschman. That one's going to go off of the wall, out and left for a double. Adley Rutschman, I think, has hit the ball better throughout the playoffs. He's one of the few guys who have actually improved from the ALDS to the ALCS. Liam Bumaye is going to bloop this one. Arias will make the play. So again, the base runner leads to virtually nothing for the Orioles, and it remains 4-1. Christian Robinson is up here to start the 5th inning, and that one's going to go by the legs of Zach Eflin for a single. So Robinson will get aboard with nobody out. Maybe this is the inning where the Orioles can figure some things out. Marco Luciano into right field, his second base hit of the game. And now the Twins have allowed the first 2 runners to reach base. And maybe Baltimore can get something going, especially with the top of the order up. 1 away here for Max Muncy. This one is going to be grounded into right field for a hit. Christian Robinson is headed home, and the throw is not going to go home. It's going to go to 3rd. So that'll be an RBI single for Max Muncy, and the Orioles bring it within 3, as it is now 5-2. Red hot Elliot Ramos gets that one into the left center gap for extra bases. Both runners should be able to score, and the Orioles have now brought it within 1 as the throw from Royce Lewis to home is not in time. Big double for Elliot Ramos, who has far and away been the best player on this team here in the playoffs. And this game just got real interesting, folks. Anthony Rizzo now launches this one into right field. That one will go over the fence, and the Baltimore Orioles have taken the lead. Rizzo with his 2nd home run of the game, his 2nd multi-home run game of the playoffs, and the Orioles, who started this inning off down 5-1, are now up 6-5. The Orioles' offense has just completely exploded here in the 5th inning. Michael Pineda is now in for relief for Minnesota. And Adley Rutschman proceeds to launch an absolute nuke into right field. The Orioles are just slamming the cover off the baseball this inning, regardless of who's pitching. Rutschman with his first home run here in the playoffs. And the Orioles are now all of a sudden up 7-5. A 6th spot here in the 5th inning for Baltimore. One of the most impressive offensive innings you'll ever see. And unfortunately comes to an end with Liam Bumaye striking out. but everybody got in a bat in that inning. The Orioles batted around the lineup, and they are now up 7-5. That looks like a team who's resilient and who's not going to quit. Bottom 5, Miguel Sano grounds this one to third. Muncie's going to go ahead and make the play. So a 1-2-3 inning there from John Means. And since his pitch count is a little bit lower, considering he didn't pitch the first 2 innings, he still, I think, has multiple innings left in him. And since he's pitching well, there's no reason to not keep him out there. Christian Robinson will start the 6th inning off with a base hit. And is Baltimore going to score another 6 runs here? Well, probably not, but they did start the inning like they did the last one. I think the hopes of getting 6 runs are now officially dead here as Baltimore grounds into a 5-4-3 double play. Great defense by the Minnesota infield. And spoiler alert, the Orioles would score none, let alone 6. Here in the bottom of the 6th, Alex Kirilloff will strike out on the slider. John Means is really pitching well right now. He did allow a run in that 3rd inning, but Minnesota's lineup has done virtually nothing since. Jake Cave goes down on the curveball, and Means is just still on fire. How about Kepler for the hat trick? Well, that's not unfortunately going to happen. He lines this one nicely in the left field for a hit. Kepler's going to try to head to second, and the throw from Ramos is in time. Gutsy base running there by Max Kepler. It does not pay off. So the Orioles will technically retire the side, even though they do also technically allow a base hit. On to the 7th now. Elliot Ramos with another single into right field. I mean, he has just looked like a superstar here in this playoffs. Him and Anthony Rizzo, who have just quite frankly been the 2 best players on this team since the playoffs started. Rizzo also hits a single. He now has 3 hits in this game, and he has absolutely warranted a contract extension in the offseason. Cody Stashak will check in for Michael Pineda, who did not have a great outing. I guess Pineda wasn't awful, but he wasn't all that great either. Louis St. John's going to line this one nicely into right center, and that one's going to get by Buxton. Both runners are on their horse. Ramos will score. Rizzo's going to head home, and well, he retreats to third, following Louis St. John. And then St. John, for whatever reason, decides to go home. I don't know why he did. I did not press advance all runners, so don't blame me. But that's going to be a double play for the Twins, but it's also going to be an RBI triple for Louis St. John. So the Orioles are now up 8-5. Probably one of the weirdest sequence of events you'll see there on the base pass. But hey, Baltimore scored, so you can't get too upset. Another 1-2-3 inning for John Means as he allows a fly out in the left field for Byron Buxton. And that'll do it for Means in this one. 5 1/3 innings, only allowing 1 run. Out of the bullpen, no less. He was extraordinarily impressive. Felix Rosa will check in here in the bottom of the 8th. He's been, I would say, adequate in the playoffs. He hasn't been bad. I wouldn't say he's been great either. Yohan Moncada's got to single that one into center field. And that was a smart play by Christian Robinson to not try to dive for the ball. The Orioles don't need to risk big plays. They do have a fairly comfortable lead. Well, it's looking a little bit less comfortable with a single here from Miguel Sano. And with 1 away, the Twins have 2 runners on, and the go-ahead run is up at the plate. A major opportunity for Jake Cave, who homered earlier. This is going to be a grounder to first. Rizzo will tag the bag. And the Orioles go unscathed there in the 8th inning with a nice 3-run lead with 1 inning to go. Let's see if they can hold on. Randy Dobnak is in for the Twins. This is the guy who has the cool handlebar mustache. He's been okay in the playoffs. 2 appearances, 5.4 ERA, facing off against Elliot Ramos, who lines this one high and pretty deep in left field. That one will stay in the park, though. It is caught by Byron Buxton. So a 1-2-3 inning go down the Orioles, and now we head to the bottom of the 9th, where the closer, Taylor Rogers, will attempt to finish things off. Rogers has pitched in 2 games this year, one of which he got the save. The other he contributed in the no-hitter that eliminated the Chicago White Sox. This is his first appearance against the Twins, his former team, and well, it would not exactly get off to a flying start, as Minnesota's leadoff batter would go yard, and it is now 8-6. That was Max Kepler, the German native, with the home run, and now things are starting to get interesting. Royce Lewis up, and that throw from Muncie is offline. Should have been a ground out, but instead Lewis finds himself in scoring position, and the tying run is at the plate. It's going to be Byron Buxton here with 1 away, and this one is hit nicely into center field. Should be caught pretty easily, and it will. Lewis will advance to third. The sacrifice attempt is successful. So now there's a runner 90 feet away from home, but the Twins are still going to need to get Yoan Moncada home safely as well. This one is grounded to second, and the throw will be in time to get the out. And the Baltimore Orioles will hold on for victory. 8-6 is your final. A very thrilling game headlined by a 6-run fifth inning and a great performance out of the pen by John Means. We were really looking rough in this game. Grayson Rodriguez's day did not exactly go as I expected it to. The offense in this game was really impressive. Everybody who started at least got at least one base hit. Home runs for Rutschman and Rizzo, who had 2. Louis St. John and Elliot Ramos, along with Max Muncy, also had RBIs. And then after Means, the rest of the bullpen also did a pretty good job to finish it off. 6 runs, 9 hits. Nice for the Twins. But that fifth inning completely ruined their momentum and any realistic shot that they had to win the game. So now on to Game 4, and the Orioles are back in it. They're still down 2-1. They still have damage control to do, but they're feeling a lot better than they did when they were down 2-0. Now that they got that road win, we'll see if they can carry that momentum here into Game 4 and possibly get another one. So now it is Game 4 of the ALCS. You could argue this game might be even more important. Again, I know I'm a broken record saying this game is the most important, but am I lying? The Twins have obviously played really well in this series. They've scored at least 5 runs in every game, which is super impressive. But their pitching kind of collapsed there in Game 3. We'll see if they can get back on track in Game 4. Game 5 will be in Minnesota. Game 6 and 7, if necessary, would be in Baltimore. So again, the Orioles are going to lead off Ivan Cortez Jr. This time it is Marco Luciano who will not get the start. The Dodgers have won Game 5 of the NLCS, so they had a 3-2 lead over the Cardinals. So it's Matthew Thompson, the rookie, starting for Baltimore. He pitched in Game 4 of the ALDS against the White Sox. And he pitched 5 no-hit innings. And, of course, the bullpen was able to finish out that no-hitter. So we'll see how many hits he allows today. Byron Buxton going to start off with a walk. It is not good news for the opposing team when Byron Buxton is on base. I can confidently tell you that. Yoan Moncada hits that one nicely into center field. That one will drop for a hit. Bad defense there by Baltimore. And Buxton is going to try to head home. The throw from Cortez is not in time. So Minnesota is on the board, and the no-hitter got dissolved very quickly. Miguel Sano now singles that one right through Matthew Thompson's legs. Another run will score, and the Twins are now up 2-0. It seems like the Twins have really played well in the first inning of games in this series, and, well, today has been no different. They've scored in both opening innings. Jordan Balazovic is starting for the Twins, one of their highly regarded prospects who pitched a great 7-inning gem in Game 4 of the ALDS to eliminate the Astros. Adley Rutschman up first here in the second. He singles into left field. And as I said earlier, Rutschman is really starting to hit the ball better. I've been impressed with his series against the Twins. I can't say the same for Louis St. John, who grounds that one right to second base. 4-6. No, that's not going to be a double play. St. John is safe at first. The throw from Royce Lewis at shortstop was offline. And that's a massive mistake for the Twins, and the Orioles might capitalize. Muncy into left field. That one is gone. 2-run shot for Max Muncy. Had Royce Lewis made that throw, it would have only been a 1-run homer. 350 feet. That ball barely scraped over the fence. But a home run is a home run at the end of the day, and the Orioles now tie it up at 2. Max Kepler goes down looking on the curveball. Great pitch by Thompson to get the strikeout. We know Matthew Thompson's a great pitcher. He had a great performance in the playoffs in his first game, so I'm sure he's going to pick it up here in his second game, as that's an infield single for Royce Lewis. Ivan Cortez Jr. at shortstop, we know he's very fast, but I guess he's not a fast thrower. Buxton is going to strike out, so the inning will end smoothly, still tied at 2. Into the bottom of the third inning now, Yoan Moncada opens things up, drawing a walk, so Minnesota gets an early base runner. Maybe they can get the lead back. Miguel Sano, he's going to get fooled by the low and inside fastball. That pitch was filthy. Mitch Garver is now up here in the fourth inning. Count is 2-2. This one is lined into center field for a single. As you can tell, there hasn't really been a ton of offense in the past few innings. The Orioles are not hitting the ball well. The Twins are not hitting the ball well. So credit to Balazovic and Thompson, who have both pitched quite well in this game. Royce Lewis grounds that one to short. Will Muncy make the play here? He does. So the game remains tied at 2 through 4 innings, and both of these young standout pitchers are really building into a groove. Here's Jalen Miller in the 5th, who has really struggled here in the playoffs. He did not start in Game 3. He did get an at-bat later in the game, and that one is gone. Again, barely over the fence, but hey, it works. Although Miller has struggled to hit for contact in the playoffs, he has not struggled to hit for power. That's his 3rd home run, and Baltimore is now up 3-2. So Travis Lakins is in here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Matthew Thompson's pitch count was starting to get high. I think Thompson had a good performance, but Baltimore wanted to be safe rather than sorry with their rookie. As Byron Buxton gets an infield single, that one deflected off of Lakins' leg, and it looks like it hit him pretty hard. So he is shaken up, but he's going to tough it out, stay in the game. But that definitely looked like it hurt. So I don't want to, underline his pain because, well, that looked pretty rough. Yohan Moncada is going to strike out on the outside curveball, so a good way to rebound there for Lakins. Byron Buxton going to try to steal second. That's awfully close, and he is safe. Not a bad throw by Rutschman, but Cortez was not able to apply the tag in time. Luis Arias will get that one to drop in center field. Buxton hesitated on running. Now he's going to head home. I don't know why the center fielder hesitated for so long. He ended up throwing it to 3rd as well. I don't get that. So that'll be an RBI single for Luis Arias. And the Twins are going to tie it up at 3. Elliot Ramos opens up the 6th inning with a nice single into right center field. So a good hit there from Ramos, who continues to be so impressive here in this postseason. Along with Anthony Rizzo, who hits a really tough pitch, a low and outside changeup for a single. And Ramos and Rizzo continue their dominance. Balazovic would be taken out of the game after that, and it'll be the long reliever, Brandon Waddle, who is in for the Twins. You may recognize his name if you watched the Pirates series. He was the long reliever there for a few years, and he will open up his outing strong as Adley Rutschman grounds into a double play. And instead of having 2 runners on base with nobody out, the Orioles would get 1 runner on with 2 outs, and, well, long story short, they did not score. Colin Poche is on the mound here in the bottom of the 6th. He would walk his first 2 batters, so not an ideal start to the game for Poche. Now facing off against Byron Buxton. Grounded to 3rd, and the Orioles are going to try to turn another double play, and they do. Great defense there from Baltimore, and with 6 innings down, 3 to go, this is anybody's game. Jalen Miller up early in the 7th, gets a hanging pitch up and away in the zone, and he capitalizes. Hitting that one nicely into left field. The throw from Buxton is in time! Looked like Miller was going to be safe there, but Buxton was able to gun him down. A huge out for Minnesota. Ryan Mountcastle is now up. We've not talked about him really at all today because, well, he hasn't hit the ball well. He did not play in Game 3, and so far he's 0 for 3 in Game 4. It's been a rough playoff run for Ryan Mountcastle, who's hitting like 140. I think he has 2 or 3 base hits up to this point. I mean, he has not been good. Alex Colomé is in for the O's here in the bottom of the 7th, facing off against Miguel Sano, who is 2 for 3 today. Make that 3 for 4, and Sano is just hitting the ball so well here in these playoffs. The throw from Ramos is not on target. That was in time, but the throw is offline, so Miguel Sano will reach second safely. Kirilloff will fly this one to short. Ivan Cortez Jr. should make the play. So the base hit from Sano proves not to be a big deal. No damage done from either side there in the 7th. And now we go to the 8th. Ivan Cortez Jr. leads the inning off, and this one is going to be lined to short. Can Royce Lewis make the throw in time? He does not. If that's any other batter, that's probably an out, but because Ivan Cortez Jr. is so fast, well, yeah, that's going to be a base hit. Anthony Rizzo singles into left field. Ivan Cortez Jr. on his horse, and he is safe. So Anthony Rizzo is going to drive in what could be the potential winning run to make it 4-3. Edwin Diaz is in at the bottom of the 8th. He has been, well, unsurprisingly really good here in the playoffs, and he would go down the order 1-2-3. Quick inning from Diaz, and Baltimore is 1 inning away from finishing this game off. Into the 9th inning now. Brandon Waddle is still in, facing off against Jalen Miller, who's going to strike out on the high fastball. So Waddle gets out of the inning with no trouble. We enter the bottom of the 9th inning. Minnesota needs 1 to keep the game alive, 2 to potentially win it, and if they don't score anything, they lose. Taylor Rogers is in for the save. He is now 2 for 2 on save opportunities here in the postseason. And Royce Lewis is going to try to start this one off quickly, and he does with a base hit into center field. Lewis headed for second. The throw again was offline, but arguably in time. And the Twins start the inning with a runner in scoring position. That's a big deal. Moncada flies this one into deep right center field. The Orioles will make the grab, but Royce Lewis should score pretty easily, and the Minnesota Twins have tied it up at 4. That's going to go into the stat sheet as a blown save for Taylor Rogers. Luis Arias with 2 gone and nobody on hits it into center. Baltimore will make the grab. So through 9 innings, we do not have a winner. The game is currently tied up at 4, and we need extra innings. This is Baltimore's 2nd extra inning playoff game. They are so far 0-1 when they lost Game 2 of the ALDS against Chicago in 11 innings. Bumaye will ground out to third, a quick 1-2-3 inning for the Twins, and we go to the bottom of the 10th. By the way, for the playoffs, there is no runner starting on second base, so keep that in mind. Runner on first, 2 away for Kepler. He strikes out, so Taylor Rogers, who gets another inning, gets out of it pretty easily. No harm done in the 10th, and now we go into the 11th. Brandon Waddle is still in the game, by the way, as Elliot Ramos is going to open up the inning with a single into left field. Minnesota's strategy with their pitchers is kind of smart because they've only used 2 pitchers, whereas the Orioles have used damn near their whole bullpen. Rizzo grounds into a 4-6-3 double play, a costly mistake from Anthony Rizzo, and the Orioles do not score in the top half of the inning. Kenyon Middleton is in here in the bottom half of the 11th. As with 1 away, the Twins are going to get a base hit. Again, it's Royce Lewis, who has been outstanding in this ball game, getting a double. And Royce Lewis has looked like the #1 pick that the Twins used on him a few years ago. Buxton is going to strike out on the changeup. Big K for Kenyon Middleton. And now we go into the 12th inning, still tied at 4. Cody Stashak is in for the Twins, facing off against Max Muncy. And that one is high. That one is deep. And that one is out of here. Solo home run for Max Muncy. And finally, we have runs here in the extra innings. Muncy with a gigantic home run, his 5th of the playoffs. That one was a no-doubter. His 2nd home run of the ball game. And the Orioles are now up 5-4. Maybe the biggest hit of this entire series. And again, I feel like I've said that like 5 times in the past 2 weeks, but because it's true. So Felix Rosa, Baltimore's only traditional reliever, is going to get the save opportunity. He has never recorded a save in his major league career. We'll see if he can do it here. 2 gone here against Alex Kirilloff. This one is in the right field corner, and it will be caught to end the ball game. The Baltimore Orioles take Game 4 by the final score of 5-12. We said going into today's episode that the Orioles needed to figure some things out. I think it's fair to say they did, winning Games 3 and 4, both tough battles, but the Orioles had that big 5th inning in Game 3, and here in Game 4, they needed to go 12 innings, but they got the win. Max Muncy was great. He had 2 home runs. Jalen Miller went deep. Anthony Rizzo was very good. The pitching, for the most part, was pretty good. Minnesota didn't hit the ball poorly, but I don't think any of Baltimore's pitchers really played badly, per se. The Twins only used 3 pitchers, whereas Baltimore literally used their entire goddamn bullpen, other than the starters and Grayson Rodriguez, who was the lone reliever, and also had no energy since he just pitched the day prior. So that's going to end today's episode. Certainly a major success here for our Baltimore Orioles, who win both games on the road. Next episode is going to be Games 5 and 6. Will somebody officially win the series, or will we split and go to 7? Let me know your thoughts. Make sure to like and subscribe. Peace out.